said that you don't support this. I was surprised to hear you say you didn't have an opinion tonight. It is definitely fear-based, and you know, in the aftermath of the whole Bearcat controversy, I think that the last thing we need is more fear-based mentality and decision-making coming from the city council. And many of you might be familiar with the TSA. They have security procedures that are in place at all the airports across the country. Statistics are down. People aren't flying. People are choosing to drive somewhere rather than fly because they don't like the indignancy or the violations that they feel when they're going through these security checkpoints. And I know that constantly I hear on TalkBack and from the city council that you guys wonder why people don't attend these meetings. Well, if you put security procedures in place, it's going to dissuade people even further from wanting to come out here and speak their minds. And beyond that, it's ultimately security theater. Even the security that they use during the day for the court is security theater. If someone wanted to hurt the judge, it would just be a matter of being outside of the courthouse. In the same way that New Hampshire is a very safe place, people are allowed to carry weapons in most places here in this state. And I think that it's pretty clear that the fact that folks are free to defend themselves helps keep everybody safer. So appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I'm David, and I live in Marlborough Street, Keene.
Last name?
Crawford.
Thank you.
I was happy to hear Chris Roberts say that he's not afraid of the public and stuff, and I'm glad of that because I think putting those things in would send a wrong message and to the public and the people that want to participate in how to say. And we should be encouraging people to have their input and not discouraging it. And so I was glad to hear what Chris said. Thank you.
Thank you. Someone further? This is an open meeting, so if you'd like to share some thoughts.
Good evening, James Cleveland, 173 Washington Street. I have a question, I guess, for the county attorney, if I may.
Another from
Well, technically, talk to me, to him.
Okay.
Same difference. Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I had a question
City
about,
attorney.
he had mentioned the foyer, like if they put metal detectors down there. I was wondering, like, is it legal to carry a weapon into like the lobby, or is that illegal?
Mr. Chairman, I've already stated my opinion with respect to this, and if there's any further questions, I suggest that they bring it to the state legislature at this point.
Okay, I was just a little bit confused, like, is it a public place or not? Because I can carry, let's say, a weapon on the street, on a sidewalk. It's generally not a problem. I'm just confused whether this building is a public place or not.
As I've been told, and I'm not the legal authority on this, the court system does have the ability to restrict firearms. And this is a courtroom. When the court is in session, therefore, you cannot bring it in.
What if your purpose of coming to this building is not to go to court, though?
Is that an attorney question, or is that?
Mr. Chairman, quite frankly, I'd rather not engage in a debate, but let me be fairly succinct about it. Under the statute, under the state law in New Hampshire, public buildings, with certain exceptions, which I won't go into at this point, but don't necessarily apply here, may not prohibit individuals from carrying firearms within the building unless there's some other statute that applies. So, for all intents and purposes, you can carry a firearm in New Hampshire.
Yes.
Just for quick clarification, when court is in session, this is no longer the city hall.
This is a courtroom.
It's a courtroom, and all the rules of the court apply.
Apply here, apply to the foyer out front, apply to the stairway down below, apply to the foyer in the base, in the front hall where you walk in, which is why they were able, under their statutory authority, to place their systems in our foyer.
I think that hopefully answers your question.
So what, I mean, that seems like, it's a really slippery slope though, because what if they expanded the building, you know, to house more of the city services? So, you know, I don't know, if there's service where it's not in this building at the moment, but you went, it was moved here, then basically you're not allowed to carry a weapon during court hours, is that correct?
Mr. Chairman, if I may, those are questions that need to be directed to the court.
Okay.
I have to agree with that, yes.
Well, thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else want to participate in the discussion at this point? Or committee? Anyone have anything else? Okay, well, as the writer of the submitter of this letter, maybe just to clarify a comment that I did make on the radio in response to Ian's question. I submitted this at the request of several employees, which I thought made sense, and I thought that with the detectors downstairs, the short answer was, yes, this makes a lot of sense, it's an easy fix. And as I've come to be educated on the subject, it is not an easy fix. I like your expression of security theater, because I think that does apply. It does appear to me that nothing is going to happen this evening on this, and I won't make a motion, but I think as far as this can go at this time, to accept my letter as informational, and pretty likely there's going to be some state legislative action coming, and we will be asked to take a position on that as part of our annual advising our state legislators. So I think that's about as far as I would see it going, but it'll take a motion from someone else to act on my letter. Yes, we're ready to make the motion, if you like.
I'd like to make a motion that the FOP committee accepts Council Greenwald's letter concerning metal detectors of individuals entering the city hall to visit upper floor offices and city council chambers as information.
Anything further? Comments from public, staff? Not staff, I'm sorry. Committee.